Hello users, and welcome back to another episode of Above It All, also known as the show where I pick on Joe Biden because he's a fucking freak and I hate him. I have a seething, passionate, and never-ending lust for him to drop out of the presidential race because he is a rapist piece of garbage. But he tweeted this out. Not a joke, folks. We just launched our new podcast. It's called Here's the Deal. I'm just gonna click on this link because, okay, Joe Biden's launching a podcast, right? Bernie's had a podcast for a while now, and basically the podcast is all about public policy and how to improve people's lives. So I wonder what we're gonna talk about here. So we're gonna talk about COVID-19. It seems, right? We're just talking about quick and dirty COVID, and I'm getting a call. I'm not going to answer this. My phone's ringing. I'm sorry. But, so we're talking about COVID, right? Now, there's a transcript. I'm not going to listen to this. I'm just...
Someone who can offer us some helpful information. Then the two of us will answer questions with them all day. I contact 05.
Alright, fuck that shit. Anyway, my phone's ringing. It's super distracting. Anyway, so, if you're talking about COVID, right? I'm just going to search some keywords. You're the presumptive nominee, right? Your presumptive nominee. So I'm just going to search for relief. Okay? You'd think, if you're going to start a podcast talking about COVID, you would talk about your policy prescriptions for helping people. So let's do payments. Let's search for... Oh. No payments. Okay. How are you going to pay for it, though? I see that. What will I do? And a free but available, and that's everyone that needs to test that could get it. And we to establish the mobile testing sites. So that's great news. But what about health care? Let's search. Okay. Speed testing. I could go for speed testing. All right. Health care. Interesting. All right. There we go. Thank you. It's not. I was not loading the pages. So anything healthcare expansion. Let's do expansion. No, nothing for expansion. Again, I'm not going to read all of this, but I'm just searching for keywords because I want to know what this guy's talking about. So let's do policy. A lockdown policy of I love how it that's really funny. So there's, okay, policy is only mentioned once, but it's on the bottom. Okay, let's see. Politics. I'm determined that this should not be political. This is not about partisan politics. Okay, so we have a big corporate bailout that's going to skyrocket inequality. But now let's not talk about politics. All right, let's actually search this. Bailout. Oh, no, bailout's not located. What about inequality? Oh, sorry, that's not located either in this transcript. Any other words that you can think of? Let's search Trump 6 times. All right. President Trump's handling of COVID. Okay. President Trump downplays this crisis. How he has rattled public confidence and delayed our country's response. Now that's true, right? That's factual. But also at the same time, his approval rating is skyrocketing. So that's, you gotta tackle it with content. So he's not saying he's not pointing out the policy. He's just pointing out Trump's personal behavior, which is a thing he's going to lose on every single time. The coronavirus isn't Donald Trump's fault. See, this is language you can't be using as a presumptive nominee. Why would you say that, right? You don't have to say it's his fault, but you don't have to say it's not his fault, because, again, it's just bizarre messaging here. Donald Trump didn't take the steps needed to get testing in place. That's true. As a result, compared to almost every other developed nation, we're behind on getting people tested. That's also true. And yet, we're really far behind. That problem falls squarely on the shoulders of President Trump and his administration. Okay, that's not actually too bad. What else do we got? And I think by contrast, what we've seen here with the Trump responses, you can kind of tell that, when Joe Biden's talking. And I think by contrast, what we've seen here with the Trump response to coronavirus is a failure of both things. The president notoriously is rejecting the advice of scientists and doctors. He's also not... Why don't they mention the pandemic response team of the CDC, right? Let's do that, actually. CDC? The CDC and other organizations, and, who are not actively administration now. Wait. Who are not... Okay, never mind, I understand. And, I do, with your help and coordination... Okay, that's bunch of garbage. What about pandemic? Finally overcome this pandemic. We're going to talk about how Trump got rid of the pandemic response team. Doesn't seem like it. Okay. Let's do fired. No one's got fired. I don't know, like, it just seems like this is a bunch of fucking malarkey. That's what it seems like here. Now, I'm not here to, like, pick on everything Joe does. I mean, I am. That's kind of, like, the main directive of this show right now, is just attacking Joe Biden because he's a piece of garbage. But, at the same time, I mean, like, there's not much here. Like, there's not much, like, oh, a FaceTiming. I don't know, you'd think, you know, you're the presumptive nominee, right? Like, you would, you know, you talk about, you know, things that actually matter. But, you know, I guess not. Here's the deal, folks. This podcast sucks. Now, if he puts out more episodes, I'll comb through them, see if there's anything funny. I do like how it's just like, you know, it's just a straight transcript. I do like that. Almost all the things that were even remotely relevant seem to have been said by other people, and it just seems that he's here just for branding purposes. Also, like, I mean, again, like, not a joke, folks. Like, again, is he writing any of this stuff? Like, I don't know, it's bizarre. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments or concerns about Joe Biden, let me know. I'll make another video, because I will make literally fucking 30 videos a day about this goddamn cocksucker if I need to. And let's just look at his Twitter feed. Let's look at his fucking Twitter feed. The American people are generous, decent, good, and fair. In times of crisis, we come together as one. We look out for our neighbors and lend a hand to those in need. Are you sure about that? Like, is that factual? I don't think so. Oh yeah, by the way, he raped someone, so, oops, right?